Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a warm glow over the sprawling cityscape of New Haven, a beacon of human achievement and technological advancement nestled amidst the remnants of a war-torn Earth. Hovercars zipped past like shooting stars against the backdrop of a neon-lit skyline, their engines humming with quiet power. Yet, beneath this facade of progress lay simmering tensions. The fragile peace between humans and the alien race, known as the Valkyrie, was on the brink of collapse. Harper adjusted his combat gear, feeling the weight of his responsibility settle on his shoulders. He was no ordinary fighter. Trained in both human and alien martial arts, he had the skills necessary to navigate the complexities of interspecies conflict. However, today marked a turning point not just for him, but for all of humanity. Word had spread throughout the military ranks and the civilian population alike. A challenge had been issued by Amelia, the renowned warrior of the Valkyrie. Only the one who could defeat her in combat could claim her as a partner, an honor laden with both prestige and peril. In Valkyrie culture, strength dictated power, and Amelia had built her reputation as a fierce and uncompromising leader. Deep down, Harper grappled with competing emotions, determination, fear, and a sense of pride. It was one thing to fight for peace, but it was another to confront a being whose prowess was spoken of in hushed, reverent tones. As he stepped onto the training grounds, the flickering lights overhead reflected in his eyes. This fight was not solely for personal glory. It was a chance to bridge a chasm of misunderstanding between their worlds. The challenge loomed in his mind, creating a pulsing rhythm of adrenaline. Today, Harper would not just fight for himself. He would fight for the future of all species, even if that meant facing Amelia, the warrior who had captured whispers of admiration and dread from all corners of the galaxy. "Let's hope strength comes with wisdom," he muttered to himself, steeling his resolve as he prepared for the duel of a lifetime. The time had come. Harper stood in the grand arena, a circular expanse surrounded by an audience of eager onlookers from both human and Valkyrie cultures. Their murmurs filled the air, a mix of excitement and apprehension. Bright spotlights illuminated the arena, showcasing its intricate design, an arena built to host combat but equally a stage for peace negotiations and cultural exchanges. As the gates to the opposite side of the arena opened, a hush fell over the crowd. Out strode Amelia, her presence commanding the attention of everyone present. She was a striking figure, tall, with skin the color of twilight, and eyes that shimmered like twin stars. Her poise exuded confidence, and each step seemed to resonate with unspoken authority. Amelia stopped at the center of the arena, locking her gaze onto Harper as he stepped forward to meet her. The tension between them danced in the air. She was a living embodiment of strength, a legend known throughout the galaxy. "Harper Human," she began, her voice both melodic and fierce. "You have accepted my challenge." The words rolled off her tongue with a cadence that demanded respect. "Only the one who can defeat me in combat shall claim me as a partner. Do you understand the weight of this promise?" Harper nodded, trying to mask the butterflies in his stomach. "I do," he replied firmly. "But know that this is not just about defeating you. It's about forging a new alliance between our races." Amelia's lips curled into a smirk. "A noble cause. Yet, the path to such ideals is paved with strength. You may not know what it means to face a Valkyrie warrior." As the crowd buzzed with anticipation, Harper found himself captivated by the ferocity behind her words. The Valkyrie placed immense value on personal honor and strength in battle, but Harper wanted to show that humanity had much to offer as well, not just in power, but in empathy and understanding. "Then let me show you that humanity can fight with both strength and heart," he countered, his voice unwavering. With a graceful sweep of her arm, Amelia signaled for the duel to begin, her expression turning serious. "Prepare yourself, Harper. I will show no mercy." As the referee called for the start of the match, Harper's pulse raced. He danced lightly on his feet, calculating his movements, while Amelia assumed her stance, ready to unleash the full might of her skills. Flashes of memory rushed through Harper's mind, visions of training sessions, battles fought, and the weight of his family's hopes resting on him. He had always believed in the potential for humans and aliens to bond. This duel was more than just a fight. It was an opportunity to shatter the barriers that divided them. Amelia lunged forward first, her movements a blur of speed and precision. Harper dodged, relying on his agility and the lessons learned from years of training. The crowd roared as the two warriors began their dance of attack and defense. Each strike from Amelia was powerful, each evasion from Harper a testament to his skill. The combat continued, an intricate ballet of strength and strategy. Harper soon realized that Amelia was not only powerful but also intelligent. She adapted quickly, reading his movements and responding with alarming accuracy. "Impressive human," she grunted after a particularly close exchange. "But you will need more than agility to defeat me." With renewed vigor, Harper pressed his attack, diving low to sweep Amelia's legs. She leaped just in time, avoiding disaster, but as she landed, Harper seized the moment and launched a counterattack, a flurry of strikes intended to catch her off guard. What followed was a clash of might versus strategy, each seeking the upper hand. This was not merely a contest of physical prowess. It became a war of wills, two distinct cultures colliding in a fight for respect and understanding. As the duel raged on, the atmosphere thickened with anticipation. At that moment, Harper realized that defeating Amelia was not solely about winning. It was about finding a way to show her, and the Valkyrie, that humanity possessed a strength beyond brute force. The atmosphere in the arena was electric as Harper and Amelia circled each other, tension thick enough to slice through. The gathered audience was a mix of humans and Valkyrie, their cheers and chants blending into a deafening roar. In this moment, Harper felt the weight of their expectations pressing on him, but he shook off the feeling, focusing on the combat ahead. Amelia was the first to strike, an impressive display of speed and agility. She lunged forward, her fist aimed at Harper's midsection. Harper reacted instinctively, sidestepping just in time and following up with a punch aimed at her shoulder. Amelia pivoted on her heel, blocking his strike with effortless ease before countering with an uppercut that barely grazed Harper's chin. "Faster, human," she taunted, her eyes glinting with excitement. "You'll have to do better than that." Harper felt a rush of adrenaline. The sting of embarrassment ignited a fire within him. He couldn't back down. There was too much at stake, not only for him but for both their races. Channeling his focus, he adjusted his stance, preparing to engage with renewed resolve. He feigned a punch, drawing Amelia's guard up high, and in one fluid motion, he kicked low at her legs. The maneuver succeeded in catching her off guard, and she stumbled back, momentarily losing her balance. Harper seized the opportunity. Rushing forward, he unleashed a flurry of rapid punches, each one reflecting the countless hours he had spent training. But Amelia was no ordinary opponent. Gathering herself quickly, she deflected his blows, and with a swift kick, she sent Harper sprawling back to the ground. The audience erupted into cheers as she stood tall, her stance indicating confidence and control. "Stubborn, aren't you?" she called, a hint of amusement lacing her voice. Harper sprang to his feet. "I'm just getting started." He darted toward her again, this time altering his strategy, mixing in feints and unpredictable movements. As he approached, he aimed a sweeping kick that sent her back. There was a moment of silence as the two combatants faced each other, breathing heavily, sweat glistening on their skin. They exchanged a glance, a spark of mutual respect flashing between them. Harper realized that Amelia, despite her fierce demeanor, didn't merely see him as an enemy. She viewed him as a worthy adversary. Encouraged by that thought, he began anew, pushing against her with a calculated aggression. With each exchange, they learned more about one another. Amelia's precision and power against Harper's tenacity and adaptability. Just as he landed a solid punch to her side, Amelia retaliated with a swift kick that sent him crashing to the ground once more. Sensing his moment of vulnerability, she stood over him, poised to strike. "Yield, and I may consider sparing your life," she said, her voice deep and resonant. But Harper, fueled by determination, shook his head. "Not yet." He rolled to the side just in time, narrowly avoiding her foot crashing down where he had been moments before. The combat continued with a rhythm of exchange, each warrior delivering and receiving blows in a dance of skill and strength. Harper noticed the crowd growing quieter, their anticipation mounting as they realized the unfolding spectacle wasn't merely a fight, but an exhibition of well-honed abilities, each combatant pushing the other to their limits. Drawing on reserves of energy, Harper launched himself into one last assault. Accelerating forward, he aimed a punch toward Amelia's face and followed it with a series of kicks in rapid succession. The arena trembled with the energy of their combat, breaths held until their next strike, each hit echoing with significance. But then, in a split second, Amelia grabbed his leg mid-kick and used his momentum to toss him into the air, flipping him onto his back once more. The impact resonated through the arena, and Harper gasped for breath. Lying on the ground, the world seemed to blur as he processed the weight of the fight. Staring up at the sky, he felt a sense of awe that surpassed the pain. For all their differences, they were engaged in something breathtaking, an explosion of strength, honor, and resilience. Amelia stood over him, her expression softer now, and Harper realized that this wasn't just a fight. It was a merging of two worlds, clashing yet seeking understanding. As he fought to regain his footing, he offered a mischievous smile. "Looks like I'm not done yet, Amelia." The sound of their struggle reverberated throughout the arena as she extended her hand to help him up, a decision that signified a step towards mutual respect. The dust settled in the arena as the remaining spectators roared with excitement and disbelief at the fierce contest they had just witnessed. Harper lay on the ground, breathing heavily, the adrenaline of battle still coursing through his veins. Although he had lost the duel, a strange sense of accomplishment washed over him. Amelia extended her hand, offering him assistance to stand. The crowd held its breath as they witnessed an exchange that transcended combat, a shared respect born from the struggle. Wrapping his fingers around her outstretched hand, he felt the powerful grip of a true warrior, and as he was pulled to his feet, he saw admiration reflected in her striking eyes. "Well fought, Harper," Amelia said, her voice steady and sincere. "You showed remarkable tenacity." "Thanks," he replied, still recovering from the exertion. "You're a formidable opponent." The referee approached, announcing to the crowd, "By Valkyrie challenge, Amelia Bloodstone has emerged victorious. She will choose her partner, as is tradition." A wave of anxiety washed over Harper as he processed the implications of the challenge's conclusion. He had entered this duel not just to fight for himself, but for a broader understanding between their species. Now, standing before Amelia, he felt the pressure of his decision weighing heavily on him. Amelia's gaze shifted to the audience. "While I have won, I will honor Harper's spirit rather than claim him as my partner as established in Valkyrie tradition," she stated loudly, her voice echoing throughout the arena. The crowds reacted with surprise, some gasping at this unprecedented decision in their customs, while others erupted in applause, recognizing Amelia's departure from strict protocol. Harper could sense the monumental shift in atmosphere. People were captivated by the defiance of tradition, and it fueled hope rather than resentment. "What are you doing?" Harper murmured, stepping closer to her. "You could have anyone you wanted." Amelia turned to him, the fierce warrior facade momentarily softening. "But it was your spirit that intrigued me. You brought something out in this fight that the Valkyrie rarely see, a willingness to understand and merge our differences. I will not take that from you or extinguish the hope you represent." His heart raced at her words, and the corners of his lips twitched into a grin. "So what happens now?" Amelia looked thoughtful for a moment, her expression becoming serious once again. "You will need to leave here to ensure your safety. Those who oppose our bond will not understand this decision, and I will not risk your life because of it. Your defeat does not mean the end. The journey is only just beginning." Harper nodded, the bittersweet taste of acceptance settling in. He understood the stakes of their alliance in a world where prejudice loomed. "I won't back down from fighting for peace, Amelia. Not now, not ever." The two exchanged a moment of quiet understanding, the air around them charged with an electric undercurrent of anticipation. With Amelia's proclamation, a new chapter had opened for both of them. Yet, it also drew the eyes of those who opposed their alliance. As Harper left the arena, a sense of resolve coursed through him. The moment he stepped outside, he was approached by his fellow humans, friends and mentors who had supported him leading up to the duel. "What happened in there?" One of them, Brad, inquired, concern written across his face. "We thought you were going to win." "Not everything is about winning," Harper replied, shaking his head. "It was about something larger than ourselves. Amelia and I." "Amelia," Brad interrupted, eyebrows raised. "You lost to an alien warrior, and now you're speaking her name like you're in love, or something?" "Not love," Harper corrected, though part of him felt an undeniable pull toward her. "Respect. There's potential for something more, an alliance that could change everything." His friends exchanged doubtful glances, and he understood their hesitance. The incendiary nature of human-alien relations made it all too dangerous to forge bonds across races. Yet something in Harper's chest urged him to keep pressing forward. "Just be careful, Harper," Brad warned. "We can't afford to be naive here." Just as they finished their conversation, Harper caught sight of a group of Valkyrie warriors in the distance, their expressions unreadable. The need for caution crept back into his thoughts, but he didn't shy away from confronting the challenges ahead. The fight he had lost in the arena would resonate well beyond the physical realm. Amelia's declaration had kindled hope within him, hope for a future where such bonds were not only possible but embraced. Realizing they must work in the shadows for safety, Harper resolved to reach out to Amelia, even if it meant facing the critics of their alliance. With a newfound sense of purpose, he turned back toward the arena, determination solidifying in his heart. If he were to forge a path toward a shared future, he would need to be brave enough to fight for it once more, this time, not with fists, but with understanding and unity. Days turned into weeks, and the atmosphere in New Haven grew tense as whispers of Harper and Amelia's alliance spread among humans and Valkyrie. Despite the cloud of opposition hanging over them, Harper was determined to explore the bond they shared. Early one morning, he received a message from Amelia, inviting him to the Valkyrie embassy, a majestic structure adorned with vibrant bioluminescent designs that reflected their culture. Stepping into the embassy, Harper was greeted with a medley of scents, floral fragrances mixed with a hint of something earthy. He found Amelia waiting for him, clad in traditional Valkyrie attire that accentuated her lithe form, reflecting beauty and strength in equal measure. "Welcome, Harper," she said, her voice a mix of warmth and intensity. "I want to share something with you about my people's customs, particularly regarding mating rituals." Intrigued, Harper nodded as they moved deeper into the embassy. "I'm all ears." As they reached an intimate courtyard filled with bioluminescent plants, Amelia explained, "In Valkyrie culture, mating is more than a physical act. It is a deep union of spirits and intellects. It signifies trust, understanding, and a commitment to elevate each other." Harper felt his pulse quicken at the mention of mating, pondering what such a bond would entail between them. "What does it involve?" he asked, curiosity piqued. Amelia stepped closer, her gaze unwavering. "We engage in a dance to harmonize our energies, followed by a sacred rite where we share stories of our pasts, our fears, and what drives us. It solidifies our connection." The deeper implications of her words resonated with Harper. "So, it's about more than just desire. It's about bridging the gap between our worlds." "Exactly," Amelia replied, a flicker of admiration in her eyes. "But I must warn you, such a commitment will not be easily accepted by many. It challenges tradition." "I'll face whatever challenges come our way, Amelia," Harper asserted, feeling a rush of determination. "Together, we can change perceptions." Days passed as they danced, practiced the rituals, and shared their stories. Harper revealed the struggles of humanity, his family's sacrifices, and the decade-long war against alien invaders. In turn, Amelia recounted the heart of Valkyrie history, the traditions that shaped them, and the reasons for their resistance to forming bonds with other species. As their intimacy deepened, so did the tension surrounding them. Rumors and gossip escalated, igniting anger amongst conservative factions on both sides. One night, while sitting under the stars, Harper sensed a shift in the atmosphere, an urgency building. "Amelia, we're running out of time," he said, his voice earnest. "We need to show both our peoples that unity is the path to strength. Yes, I've felt it too, she replied. If we do not act quickly, fear and anger will overwhelm the potential for understanding. Determined to unite their peoples, they devised a plan to hold a public demonstration of their bond, a display of strength through unity. They would perform the Valkyrie mating dance, showcasing the beauty of their relationship as a bridge between their cultures. As the day of the demonstration approached, the streets of New Haven filled with tension. Dissenting voices shouted against their alliance, but Harper remained undeterred, buoyed by the belief they would change hearts. On the day of the event, thousands gathered, those curious, those hopeful, and those adversarial. Center stage, Harper and Amelia stood before the crowd, their hearts racing. The air crackled with anticipation. Today, we celebrate who we are and who we can become, Harper called out, his voice steady. Let us show the power of unity through dance. With that, they began to perform the Valkyrie mating dance. Their movements exuded grace and power, a harmonious blend of human and alien expression. The rhythm of the dance carried their energies into the air, intertwining as they shared their commitment and views. And with every step, the crowd began to shift, a movement of curiosity and a flicker of acceptance. They were no longer just two opponents locked in a duel. They were symbols of hope, breaking barriers with each movement. As the final notes echoed through the air, silence enveloped the audience. Then a sound broke through, applause erupted, hesitantly at first, but soon transforming into a wave of acceptance. Harper beamed at Amelia, a sense of triumph bursting within him. They had taken the first step toward bridging the chasm between their worlds, igniting a spark of possibility in hearts that had once been closed. In that moment, as the crowd cheered, they knew that their journey was only beginning, but this was a powerful first stride toward fostering understanding, acceptance, and perhaps a shared future. What began with tentative acceptance quickly devolved into chaos. In the aftermath of their public demonstration, Harper and Amelia faced backlash from factions who viewed their union as a betrayal of their species. Days after the performance, Harper found himself back at the Valkyrie embassy, pacing anxiously as tensions escalated. The atmosphere was charged with unease. News had surfaced of a radical group among the Valkyrie who sought to challenge Amelia's authority and eliminate the human presence in their culture. Harper, Amelia said, entering the room, her expression grave. We cannot ignore the unrest. Many feel threatened by our bond, and the radicals are gaining support. I know, he replied, his voice heavy with concern. But if we back down now, we'll lose everything we fought for. Amelia nodded, her resolve shining through the worry. We need to address them directly, invite leaders from both human and Valkyrie communities to a summit. We must confront the fears and misconceptions head-on. After sending out invitations, Harper helped Amelia prepare for the gathering, knowing how critical this moment would be. They practiced addressing the room together, weaving a narrative that highlighted their shared experiences, the struggles faced, and the dreams of collaboration. On the day of the summit, the atmosphere was tense and charged with anticipation. Harper and Amelia stood side by side before a throng of representatives, those who opposed them sitting at the front, their expressions unreadable. Thank you for gathering here, Amelia began, her voice echoing through the hall. Today, we stand not as Valkyrie or humans, but as a united front against ignorance, a testament to unity. Harper stepped forward, feeling the weight of every pair of eyes on them. We have proven through our bond that strength lies in collaboration. Together, we can forge a brighter future, but we must confront our fears. As the representatives began to voice their concerns and prejudices, Harper and Amelia listened attentively. Some spoke of fear that humans would overrun their culture. Others expressed discomfort with their union, believing it a step toward cultural dilution. With patience, Harper addressed each concern, offering personal transparency and emphasizing the value of mutual respect. This is an opportunity, not a threat. Together, we can learn from one another. We can be stronger as allies, not enemies. Amelia added her insights, sharing stories of Valkyrie traditions that had fostered resilience throughout their history. As they engaged in honest dialogue, the conversation shifted. People began to see not only the potential of their alliance, but also the humanity and the depth behind it. As tensions eased, a tall Valkyrie elder named Kieran stood to speak, his voice steady and commanding. If our worlds are to thrive, we must adapt. I have witnessed both of your strength and fervor. Perhaps it is time we stop viewing each other through the lens of fear. With those words, a ripple of understanding spread through the crowd. More voices joined in, echoing sentiments of unity and collaboration. Harper and Amelia exchanged hopeful glances, realizing this might very well be the turning point they had long sought. Weeks later, during a follow-up gathering, the alliance was solidified. They announced collaborative programs that encouraged joint ventures, cultural exchanges, and even scientific endeavors. The seeds of change had been planted, and while challenges would still arise, the wave of acceptance began to form. Amelia turned to Harper, pride gleaming in her eyes. "We did it. We've shown them that our bond can be a powerful force for peace." Harper nodded, a smile breaking across his face. "But we'll have to keep fighting, to show those who remain opposed that love and understanding can conquer division." In the months that followed, as Harper and Amelia worked together to bridge the divides between humans and Valkyrie, they discovered something beautiful blooming from their union, a sense of shared belonging and purpose. As they stood together, watching two worlds slowly move toward harmony, Harper reflected on the journey they had undertaken, one filled with struggles, battles, and ultimately triumph. Their connection had transcended the physical, weaving a story of hope, unity, and love, one that echoed through the hearts of those they inspired. And as night fell over New Haven, the stars shone brightly overhead, a reminder of the possibilities that lay ahead, a promise that with every challenge faced together, the tapestry of their worlds was slowly being rewoven into something greater. In a world where fear and prejudice once reigned, Harper and Amelia's relationship evolved into a powerful symbol of hope and unity. They proved that true strength lies not only in conflict, but also in the willingness to understand and embrace differences.